Hello, my name is Kelly Madrid. Today's date's April 24, 2019, and this week video is week 8 video, and it's the sensory physiology video. So as you can tell right here, I have a cow eye. This video is supposed to show the dissection of the cow eye. I already went ahead and took off the fat and the muscle around the eye just because this part takes a little longer. And then I don't have a mask on my goggles just because I want to explain the video and want you guys to see what I'm explaining, okay? So the cow eye, you have anterior and then posterior. As you can see on the posterior side, you have the optic nerve. And then on the anterior side, which is this part, you have the cornea and then the sclera. Sclera is hard connective tissue that helps protect the eye, and it contains collagen and elastic connective tissue. All right, so we're gonna be on the posterior side. I'm gonna hold this down. I'm gonna cut into the cornea right here to kind of observe what we have in there, and then I'll explain what I'm seeing, okay? I'm holding this down, kind of gonna cut. There we go. It's just a little, so as I can see already, there's fluid in there. You can see fluid leaking out. Watch, let me cut a little more. See, you can kind of see it dripping down. All right, that is called the aqueous aqueous humor, and that helps protect the lens, and that's the anterior chamber of the eye, okay? Trying to look in there. I'm gonna cut a little more just because I can't really see. Okay, there we go. Yep, I see the fluid and kind of see. Oh, I can see the pupil and the iris. It's really cool. All right. As I said, that's the aqueous humor, and that's fluid that is known in the anterior chamber that helps protect the lens. All right. So did that part. Now, as you can tell, this is still my anterior and posterior. I'm gonna cut the eyeball in half, dividing it into anterior and posterior. It's kind of hard. Wow. It's really hard to cut. This is no joke. All right. Just don't want to make sure you don't cut yourself. Kind of have to hold it like this. Nice. As you can see, there's still fluid in there. Just trying to cut it. What makes it hard to cut is that sclera because of that hard connective tissue on there. You need to think with. Try it with the scissors, okay? Oh, it's easier with the scissors. Okay, so I'm cutting it. Okay, so there's already a gelatin-like substance in there. It's called the vitreous humor or the vitreous body. That's fine in the posterior side. So as I explained, you have an anterior chamber and a vitreous chamber. Vitreous chamber is the posterior side of the eyeball. So the anterior is this part where the cornea is at and the lens, and then you have the vitreous chamber right here. So as you can tell, get my little probe right here, see that it's kind of like a jello-like substance in there that's called the vitreous humor or the vitreous body. That helps shape the eyeball. Okay, kind of gonna scoop it out. See, you see, it's kind of like, looks like gel. There we are. I'm kind of feel it. It's really gooey. Yeah, it's really gooey. It feels like Jello. All right, I'm gonna kind of dry it a little bit in here. All right, so you see this part right here, part that I'm moving? This is the retina. So the retina contains photoreceptors. They're known as the cones and rods that help see pictures in color and black and white. As you can tell, it's scattered all around right here. You kind of see I can move it, but there's a part where I can't move it from right here. This part is called the optic disc. So what the optic disc is, it allows veins and arteries to pass by through, but it doesn't contain photoreceptors. So it's known as the blind spot. With this optic disc, it connects to the optic nerve back here, as you can see. All right. Then you have the layer underneath the retina. This black part is called the choroid, and it's very vascular, so it contains oxygen and it helps nourish the retina, obviously with oxygen. And then you have this blue part right here. It's called the tapetum lucidum, and it helps with night vision with animals. Okay. As you're gonna see, I'm kind of gonna pull this down a little bit. You see that? Okay, so you see this fiber this connective tissue right here. This part, it's the sclera as well. Okay. So this is the posterior side, which is the vitreous chamber. I'm gonna move to the anterior chamber. Okay. Same thing. It has the fluid. It still has the gelatin. Anything behind the lens is known as the vitreous chamber as well, okay? So it still has the gelatin that I saw. Kind of gonna take that out without disturbing anything. See if I can kind of take it out. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna fill it again. Feels like Jello. All right, so right here, as you can see this part right here, this is the lens, okay? And then you have this part right here, actually underneath the lens. Let me take out the lens. It's really hard. Very, very hard. Feels like marble. All right, right underneath the lens, which is right here, this portion is the iris. The iris determines how much light enters in the eye, okay? And then as you can tell still right here, this little hole right here, that's the pupil. And then when you kind of see this clear stuff right here, so this hole is the pupil, and you can see this clear stuff right here, that's the cornea. So if I turn it around, see, that's the cornea, all right? And then you can still see this white connective tissue right here is the sclera. Okay, I'm gonna try and take off the iris. See, I don't disrupt anything. All right, as you can tell, still the iris. All right, thank you.